What's up, guys? We're going to do a little contest today. I still haven't mailed out the winnings from the last contest. Sorry to that person. It'll get out. It's just been busy. Um, I ran that contest right around the holiday season, so you know how that goes. But this contest is basically going to be tell me your three favorite players and why. All-time favorite players, preferably people that played during your lifetime, because as much as I'd love to say Walter Payton was one of my favorite players of all time, I never saw the guy play. I watched plenty of his tape, but I never watched him play live, so I can't really say that. It could be baseball, football, basketball, hockey, whatever. Please do note that I'm not going to know who you're talking about if it's hockey, because I know nothing about hockey. Basketball, I'll probably know who you're talking about. But three favorite players that played for your favorite team. You know what? We'll just leave it there. That's a Kleenex box holding it up. Fancy, I know. So your three favorite players from your favorite team, preferably. I'm going to do both baseball and football for you, just to give you guys an example. You don't have to make a video response, just throw it in the comments. If you want to make a video response, make a video response. Go for it. Whatever you want to do it. Yeah, let's start with football. Football, my three favorite players, starting with number 3. I do have an order. If you don't have a particular order, say that. That's fine. But I do. Number 3 is Jay Cutler. And I know this is going to be a controversial one because, a lot of people don't like Jay Cutler. And there's good reason behind why people don't like Jay Cutler. So don't get me wrong. But the reason I like Jay Cutler, he doesn't care what you think about him. And that to me, it's bigger than the game of football, the example that he sets. He has diabetes, type 1. And he's still an NFL quarterback. And whether or not you think he's good, he's a quality NFL quarterback, despite having diabetes. That's persevering. He does stuff for kids with diabetes. He has his own foundation. He works with them. He does a lot of Make-A-Wish stuff. He's a genuinely good guy. And I know that most people don't believe that or don't know or whatever, but he is a genuinely good guy. And I have a lot of respect for that. And also the fact that he holds every Bears record for passing. I'm 19 years old. When I think of Bears quarterbacks and somebody says, pick the best Bears quarterback of your lifetime, it's Jay Cutler, and there's not even a second thought in my mind. Like, I don't even have to think about it. It's Jay Cutler. As a matter of fact, if you were born anytime past like 1920, the answer is Jay Cutler for the best Bears quarterback of all time. He is the best Bears quarterback of all time, statistically, and yeah. So he's number 3. Number 2, Devin Hester, the most electrifying player I have ever seen play. And I know he only had, a condensed amount of plays. I think it's 21, I can't remember the exact number, that actually made a significant impact. But the impact those plays made were just amazing. You start with the kickoff return in the Super Bowl. We should have won that game. After you return the opening kickoff for a touchdown, that should be it. You demoralize the other team. But no, Rex Grossman had other ideas. He's like, all right, we're going to make sure the Colts win this game. But just so much fun to watch him play in his prime. Nowadays you watch him with the Seahawks, with the Falcons, and your impressions get a little bit faded. But as with the Bears, he was the best kick returner in football history, and so much fun to watch that guy play. So much fun. And then number 1 is that guy right there, Brian Urlacher. I have a question. When you think Bears football from 2000 to 2012, what is the first name that pops in your head? I guarantee you it's Brian Urlacher. Guaranteed. And that's why, I grew up with Brian Urlacher. He was the guy for the Bears for my entire childhood. Minus about 3 years that I don't remember. Brian Urlacher, I watched him play. I grew up with watching him play, and he was dominant. He's going into the Hall of Fame. He might not go first ballot because Ray Lewis is on the same ballot, sadly. And Ray Lewis is a, no doubt, 100% first ballot Hall of Famer. Because he's the same thing. When you think the Ravens, you think Ray Lewis. When you think the Bears, you think Brian Urlacher. So, he's going into the Hall of Fame, but it might be second year, well, whatever. But he was just such a dominant player. And I know he had his off-the-field issues. He has, 11 kids with, 4 different women and all this crazy stuff. But I don't care. He's a hell of a football player. His range from sideline to sideline, just astonishing for a guy his size. Just such a good football player. Loved watching him play. I was extremely sad when he retired. Well, when we chose not to bring him back, which we should have done. We should have done because John Bostic was pushed into a starting role when he wasn't ready, and John Bostic ended up sucking. I think he stays a year or two under Brian Urlacher. He becomes a lot better linebacker than he is now. I'm just saying. And then baseball. Number 3. This one was kind of tough for me to pick a number 3. But ultimately, I'm going to go with Chris Bryant. He is just so, like, taking away his baseball abilities, which are amazing, of course. He's just, like, such a genuinely good guy, you know? Like, I don't know if you've ever read about him or you've ever talked to him in person. I have a few times. Or anything like that, but he's just such a genuinely good dude. And he's one of those guys that you're happy to see succeed, you know? And yeah, he's hyped up by the media and all that, but, you know, he's not like a, you know, Bryce Harper, and Bryce Harper is a hell of a baseball player, and I do not want to take that away from him. He's a hell of a baseball player. But when you look at Chris Bryant, you don't see him throwing hissy fits, you don't see him getting angry, you don't see that. He's immature, you know, he does his job, he does it well, he moves on. Bryce Harper, you call a strike that's outside on him, he throws his helmet, he throws his bat, you know, and I respect the way that Bryant plays the game, and he's also a great player. Number 2 is Anthony Rizzo. Anthony Rizzo has been my dude since he came to the team day one, you know. The day he was called up, actually the day he was traded for, I started following him, and then the day we called him up to the majors, I went to his second game. Couldn't make it to the first one, it was a school day. But went to his second game. They lost like 17-2, but he had a double, so I was happy. He's the leader of the team, cancer survivor. Just what more can you ask for from the guy? World Series champion, Platinum Glove winner, Gold Glove winner, Silver Slugger, 3-time All-Star. The list goes on. He's such a great dude, too. And he's easily my number 2. And my number 1, Derek Lee. Derek Lee is the reason I became a first baseman when I started playing baseball. I loved watching Derek Lee play. Derek Lee was a joy to watch play baseball. And I grew up watching him on the Cubs. I was extremely upset when we traded him. Extremely upset. I still, to this day, I think we should have kept him a little bit longer. But Derek Lee, I have his signed jersey. He's always going to be my dude. I just love watching the guy play baseball. The reason I became a first baseman is because I wanted to be like Derek Lee. The reason I became in football, my number was always 54. You know, these athletes, you know, they're not role models. You know, we look at them as like role models. They're not. They're just people, but they can definitely make an impact on your life. And when you watch football every day and you watch baseball every day, and you see these guys all the time, they definitely make an impact on your life. So, you know, let me know your favorite 3 athletes. You can pick one sport, you can pick 2 sports, you can pick all 4. I don't care. You can pick soccer if you want. You know, I'm not gonna know. I'm gonna know even less than I do about the hockey if you pick a soccer player. But you can pick whatever you want. I'll throw everybody who posts into a randomizer. There probably won't be many. I don't have too many subscribers, but there probably have 4 or 5 of you, 3 or 4 of you, maybe even only one of you. If there's only one of you, you win. There you go. And we'll get you something of your favorite team sent out. Thank you guys for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.